Arnold began using steroids 3 months before a show.
I always wondered why Arnold liked Dianabol. He said this to me one time at the Olympia on stage. He said this. Dianabol is like androgenic as well as androgenic. It gave him the sarcoplasmic enhancement that he needed for a tall structure. It was anabolic as well.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hercules Bodybuilding. Today we're tackling a huge topic, steroids in bodybuilding. It's no secret steroid use is rampant in elite sports. From baseball to MMA, even the Olympics, countless athletes get caught using them for a competitive edge.
Oftentimes you can then, it begs the question, would they have been there had they not used the drugs until then? Is that just what is representative of where they decline to naturally? Or is it like a permanently lower ceiling potential because you've inhibited organ function for so long?
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is no exception. And who better to shed light on this controversial subject than the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger?
All the equipment for the right balance of food and torture that promises to transform you from a 97-pound weakling into an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But before we get into Arnie's insights, let's talk about the key to real gains nutrition. Remember, supplements are just that, supplements. The real magic happens when you fuel your body with natural, wholesome foods. Think lots of greens, fruits, and lean proteins. That's the foundation of every Herculean physique.
I'm gonna share it with all of you. And I wish I could just pour it into the lens to share it with all the people out there, because this is so yummy.
Now let's get to the nitty-gritty. Steroids. The use of performance-enhancing drugs has skyrocketed in recent years, and bodybuilding hasn't been immune. Arnold's honesty is refreshing.
But there's another substance that helps.
Steroids are taken 8 or 9, 10 weeks before a competition. It's not a healthy thing to do, but it's being used.
Did you take them?
I took them, yeah, up until the competition, 8 or 9 weeks before a competition, and it was something that everybody had to do in order to get an equal chance to compete.
He openly admits to using steroids in his prime.
The most common questions I also get is, did we take steroids? Because now, of course, drugs is such a big issue in sports. And the answer is yes. It was just in the beginning stage because bodybuilders in those days just experimented with it, but it was not illegal. We talked about it very openly. I mean, anyone that was asked, he says, you take steroids? He says, yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day. Or someone else would say, I would take this, and that. It was not an illegal thing. Now, after it became a big problem, then our federation said, okay, bodybuilders ought not to take steroids, and there will be testing done, surprise testing done. You could be called at any given time, and within 2 days you have to do a test, so you can't get rid of the whole thing out of your system or anything like that. So that's what's going on right now, that bodybuilders are tested continuously.
But he's quick to emphasize that it was under doctor's supervision and limited to specific periods before competitions. But Arnie's not one to turn a blind eye. He recognizes the dark side of steroids, the health risks, the addiction, the pressure to perform at any cost.
Were people using steroids in those days?
Oh, sure. Some used them, some didn't use them. It's very hard always to detect. It's just recently that they started coming in with tests, before competitions like other sports. Other people think that it actually, in fact, does put on muscle size for a short period of time. But the idea of it is really bad because it's a drug, and we want to, as the sport itself says, bodybuilding, we want to build the body, we want to build the health and not destroy it. And that's what drugs do. So
Arnold hits the nail on the head. Steroids might offer temporary gains, but at what cost? From liver and kidney damage to cardiovascular issues, the risks far outweigh the rewards.
Jeff has been under the care of a cardiologist for the past year, ever since doctors treating his steroid infection also discovered signs of heart failure. So, doctor, because Jeff took testosterone for so many years, now his body doesn't produce it naturally, and he actually has to take testosterone to stay healthy.
This is the unfortunate irony for guys that are looking to become superhuman per se. They end up in a point where, again, they obliterate their body's own ability to produce testosterone.
Arnold emphasizes the importance of hard work. There's only one way to be successful, and that is to work your ass off. Amen to that.
I'm going to train my ass off all year long. And I'm going to go after that guy that beat me. And I'm going to win the competition. And that's exactly what I did. I trained a whole year, became good friends with this guy, Frank Zane. Blame yourself. Take responsibility. It's the most important thing when you fail, that you take responsibility for the failure and you don't blame anyone else. No matter if it's a personal failure or if it is a business failure or a sports failure, it doesn't matter what it is, just take responsibility yourself for this failure. This is very, very important. And so I did. And I said to myself, Arnold, this guy was more ripped than you were. He had a better tan. He posed better. Those things were better, and therefore the judges voted for him. So now let's go get our act together and also get ripped and defined and have muscle separations and keep posing and practicing posing. Get that tan. I'm moving out to California anyway, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get a tan, because I want to make sure there was no stone unturned this time. And the following year, like I said, in 1969, I went back and I won the Mr. Universe contest. And then I beat this Frank Zane several times after that. And that's what you do in bodybuilding. You train together, you're training partners, but then you compete against each other, And so in any case, it was all because I realized I made mistakes. I was not cut enough, not defined enough at that day. And so you learn from those mistakes.
Bodybuilding is about dedication, discipline, and pushing your limits, not taking shortcuts that could jeopardize your health. When performed safely, lifting weights has many positive effects. So let's take Arnold's advice to heart. Let's build our bodies the right way through sweat, tears, and plenty of clean eating.
I was not always health conscious because when I was young, you get away with a lot of things, a little bit from that. And now I eat more, like oatmeals and greens and vegetables. And they want, of course, eat the delicious food because they all want to look like me. It's never gonna happen. I love that.
Thanks for tuning in, Herculeans. Remember, the only shortcut to success is hard work. Stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and inspiration on Hercules bodybuilding. Until next time, keep pumping iron and chasing those gains.